Welcome back to another episode of How to English. This is Ian. As you guys can probably tell, I am a little bit sick again. It's not a very big deal, but I have a blocked nose and sore throat, so my voice may sound a bit weird. But just bear with me a little bit here for like 10 minutes. For some reason, my last English episode did not successfully upload at the time that I wanted. Actually, it did upload, but just did not publish, and I have no idea what happened. I only found out because a pretty, die-hard listener actually took the time to DM me and tell me that episode, I think it was 37, was missing. So, shout out to him. Y'all should thank him, because if he didn't say anything, you guys would have never heard how awesome that episode was. JK, it was pretty much just me bullshitting like always. Anywho, if you guys haven't heard it, feel free to go back and listen to it. If this happens again, please someone just let me know. Send me a message or anything. Otherwise, the time that I spent recording that episode would just completely go to waste. I promised I would give an update on how my trip last weekend went, and it was honestly the most fun I've had in a very, very long time. Even though the first day was tiring as fuck because there was basically no sleeping, it was still worth it. 10 out of 10 would do it again. If you don't remember and are wondering, our first night was spent on a bus trip to the mountain. We got on a bus like 11:30 at night and arrived around 8:30 in the morning, if I remember correctly. There is this law that says a bus driver has to take a 30-minute break every 2 hours and 30 minutes of driving. It's already extremely difficult for me to fall asleep on a moving vehicle, and the fact that it stops every 2 to 3 hours doesn't really help either. But that was expected, I guess. I knew what I signed up for, so I can't really complain. It was overall a very good experience, so having to sleep on the bus was a worthy price to pay. So I've been to 2 different mountains already. What makes this one so special? One of the previous mountains that I went was a pretty beginner place. It wasn't a very big or tall mountain, so there was only a limited number of routes we could take to ski down. Back when I was more of a beginner, I was skiing down the same run for the whole weekend, and it can get quite boring, to be honest. Not boring to the point where I wasn't having fun, but it was just different to what I had in mind. I always wanted to ski down one of those mountains you see in the movies where you stand on the top and all you can see is snow. There is more than one way to go down, and if you're confident enough, you don't even have to follow the path they have marked. The second mountain that I went to maybe had this kind of place, but when I was there, I was trying out snowboarding for the first time, and as you can probably guess, I was on my ass close to, I would say, 80% of the time. Couldn't even safely get to the bottom of the easiest run without falling, let alone going to the top of the mountain. So last weekend, when I visited Thredbo, that's the name of the mountain that I went to, by the way, I was confident enough to try some runs that were more intermediate. I had 3 days in total to get ready. So for the first day, I was just doing the super easy runs to kind of warm up a bit and get used to skiing again, because it's been almost 3 months since I last skied. Plus, like I said before, I was tired as fuck, so I felt like I didn't have the energy to do the more difficult runs. Then the second day, after skiing down the easy runs once or twice, I feel like I'm ready and headed off to try some more challenging runs. I like to change every once in a while, so I wanted to go to as many different runs as I can. My friends that went with me were more on a beginner level, so they don't always follow me around. Somewhere in the middle of this, a person in the group was able to lose her snowboard. Like it slid down the mountain into a river. They went back the next day and climbed down the mountain, followed the river a little bit, and found the snowboard like caught in some rocks. So at least that resulted in a happy ending, I guess. I'm not going to talk too much about the details how that happened, but I still think it's a pretty wild thing. Oh, for those of you who are interested, I posted a picture on my Instagram page of the highest point that I went to. There you can sort of see what I mean when I say going to the top of the mountain, all you can see is snow and there's no fixed path of going down. On the third day, we were on the snow from 9 in the morning till about 4 in the afternoon. Then after that, the bus took us back to Sydney, arriving like midnight. We had to spend a night in Sydney because it was too late to catch a plane. So on our last day, we checked out of the hotel. We walked around Sydney for a bit, went to see the Sydney Opera House. That's also for my first time. And then after that, we got on a plane about 5:30 p.m. and then ended up at home around 9 p.m. I think. So it was a pretty big weekend. I spent about $2,000 in total. But like I've said it already, and I'll say it again, it was absolutely worth it. If any of you guys listening get a chance, you have to go to the snow at least once in your life and try either skiing or snowboarding, up to you. I promise you won't regret it. Next year, if I am still here in Australia, I plan on going to Queenstown, New Zealand, but we'll see what happens. If this podcast is still going on, then you'll definitely hear me talk about it. Anyways, I think that's enough talking for me today. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a little bit sick, so I don't want to talk for too long. Someone was sick on our trip, and then we ended up sharing the bedroom together, so I think I might have gotten it from him, but I don't think it's anything serious. Hope I can feel better next weekend, and if I do, maybe I'll talk more about the trip in the next Chinese episode. So, as always, please go to the review section in Apple Podcasts and leave a comment if you have any thoughts about the podcast. You can also find links to my Instagram or Facebook fan page in the details section if you're interested. If not, I guess I'll see you guys in the next update. Peace.